Hey there, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. This week, we're digging into the sources you sent over covering India. Specifically that week, June 15th to 22nd, 2025. We've got the articles, the research, your notes, and our job, well, it's to cut through the noise, find the interesting bits, and give you that shortcut to knowing what's really going on. Okay, let's unpack this week.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? You see India navigating this really complex global situation,
Yeah.
while at the same time pushing you ahead with some pretty big changes at home. So we're not just looking at what happened, but digging into the why, connecting those dots for you.
Absolutely. So, first up, this idea of geopolitical resilience, but also an economic paradox. We saw Prime Minister Modi, for instance, making that direct call about the Iran-Israel situation,
Yeah.
pushing for de-escalation. And then there's the oil sourcing shift, buying more from Russia and the U.S. That was interesting.
Right. And that specific action, it really shows, I think, a kind of economic resilience.
Mm.
A very pragmatic approach, in this fragmented world order we're seeing. It ties right back into that Abhinav Bharat's vision, self-reliance, basically. Not just economics, but energy, defense.
And the base economic numbers, they look really solid. India's cemented its place, fourth largest economy globally. Growth projected at, 6.5% for this fiscal year. Plus cumulative FDI reaching that massive 1.05 trillion US dollar mark. That's quite something.
It certainly is a powerful surge. But here's where the paradox comes in. Despite that big picture growth, you've still got these persistent worries about jobs, about employment. Think about this. You hear warnings of a potential fertility crisis because of delayed marriage. Then this prediction about AI, meaning like no coders in 5 years. And at the same time, the observation that simple delivery jobs are maybe what's saving India's youth right now.
Huh. So what does that mean for people listening?
Well, it points to this urgent challenge, right? A potential mismatch between the skills people have and the jobs available. Even with good headline growth, it could really impact productivity down the line.
That's a really sharp point. Okay, moving beyond the economy, let's talk digital. This one nation, one time initiative mandating Indian Standard Time everywhere. The goal seems to be cutting reliance on foreign systems like GPS for timing, sighting, national security, and digital sovereignty.
Exactly. It's part of this bigger digital imperative you see in India, taking control of their own digital future. It connects to things like the Cyber Suraksha exercise, boosting cybersecurity readiness, and also that ECM scheme, aiming to slash reliance on foreign electronic parts by 90%. It's about building autonomy.
Right. And there were other sort of modernization pushes too, like mandatory ABS brakes on new motorbikes from 2026 for safety. Okay, let's shift gears again. Climate. We saw real extremes illustrating India's vulnerability. A severe heat wave up in Kashmir, Srinagar, hitting over 35 Celsius water shortages. But then contrast that with early monsoons, heavy rain elsewhere, like Rajasthan getting it early, Kerala on red alert.
It really highlights that dual challenge India faces, managing both heat and flood extremes. It's driving a real need for, robust climate adaptation plans.
And alongside these environmental pressures, some tough social issues were really in the spotlight. This idea of culture kills in marriage, highlighted by that tragic Raja Raghavanshi case, it sparked broader conversations about spousal violence, about caste.
Yeah, and it suggests a kind of reevaluation of traditional norms happening. And linked to that, you see the role of an increasingly assertive judiciary, like the Rajasthan High Court quashing that FIR related to farmers' protests. It signals the court stepping in, upholding rights, demanding accountability.
Okay, finally, let's touch on sports. Pretty good week for India on that front. Definitely diverse achievements. Cricket Shubman Gill's big score, 147. Rishabh Pant hitting his 7th Test century. Then Neeraj Chopra winning the Paris Diamond League, that javelin throw, 88.16 meters. And even a 16-year-old, Maya Rajeshwaran, winning her first junior ITF tennis title. Impressive.
Absolutely. And you have to see these alongside the bigger picture strategy. India bidding for the 2036 Olympics, hosting the Billie Jean King Cup playoffs in 2025. It all points to this growing global sporting ambition. Using sport for national branding, for economic development too, it shows a broadening talent pool.
So wrapping this all up, what's the main takeaway for you listening? We've seen India juggling a lot, haven't we? Internal reforms, external pressures, trying to push forward on multiple fronts.
Right. And if you connect it all, future progress really seems to hinge on integrating these varied challenges, climate, jobs, social change, with the opportunities like digital growth and global standing. Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. How do you think these shifts, the evolving social dynamics and that strong push for digital sovereignty, how will they ultimately shape India's place in the world over, say, the next decade?
Something to mull over as you continue your own deep dive.